You're watching the River Street Rundown on App TV.
A podcast for students, produced by students. This is the River Street Rundown.
Tune in to the River Street Rundown on watchapptv.com or your favorite streaming platform.
Welcome to the River Street Rundown. I'm Slade alongside with Joshua Grant and Kevin Rivera, and today we'll be discussing, can a good person do evil things and still be considered a good person? I think it depends on the context. I think we should establish a context instead of just talking about general goodness and evil.
Absolutely, yeah. So something I was talking about earlier was like the age of the act of evil. I personally believe that's a thing. Do you think a young person doing an evil thing can redemption themselves, or do you think it's better for an older person, not better, maybe better is not the right word, an older person to do the evil thing later on in life?
It depends, is like how like evil the thing they're doing like is.
Right.
And like also we have to talk about, you know, whether they're not a good person, you know what I mean? And like what would be your definition as a good person?
A good person, I would say, because we don't have the same morals, but it's just, do we go off of like state laws, like legislator and stuff like that? But I think a good person, you have good intentions and you think about the good of all, like more selflessness. I suppose, like you're not acting from selfish reasonings. And I think a lot of like, I'm a good person, but I'm doing evil things for the greater good. I think it does stem from selfishness. We can use the Thanos argument, you know, has everyone seen Infinity War or Endgame?
Absolutely.
Yes. So he's like, oh, I wanted to cut resources in half, or like we have like limited resources, so I want to cut the population in half. If you had all that power, why not double the resources? Or like expand the universe? Because if you can cut the population in half randomly, I'm sure there's another solution. So I think automatically going to the most extreme, that doesn't necessarily make you a good person after that, because you didn't explore any other avenue. Mind you, I haven't read the comics, so I have no idea if he did explore other avenues, but it's solely based off the movies. It was an evil decision. He thinks he's a good person, but it cannot be rationalized, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but but what if a good person does an evil thing thinking that they're good?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said pretty much, right? With Thanos?
Yeah.
Right. So I guess people that believe they're doing the right thing, and it's hard to say, like, because you talk about Thanos and obviously that's like crazy, you know, it's out there. But like, I guess what's a more human topic that someone out there would relate to, something that would be like stealing bread to feed your family? Like, is that evil? Not to me. No, like, you know, like if you got to provide and you know, it's wrong, but it's not considered evil either. I don't know, like.
For that one, I think it's more of the system put in place that like you're impoverished, you have no other options, you don't have any other avenues. And you stealing bread from like Walmart or Harris Teeter, that's hurting a corporation that does not care about you, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with that, but I think that's kind of getting in the realm of like a different topic.
The ethics of stealing.
Correct, yeah. I don't know, like Kevin, like what are your thoughts, like as like, you know, we talked about earlier about, you know, I'm not going to say JD, you know, because people get upset.
You know, like,
but about guys like Ted Bundy, you know, like what stuff like that?
I mean, like, he started off as evil, you know what I mean? But like, if we're talking about like a good person, say like Mother Teresa, you know, like a good person does the thing for people, you know, helped out various communities. Say like news came out, bam, she was beating kids.
Yeah.
What would you say? Like that'd be evil. Like we consider
for
like,
sure.
Evil, but like, but she like did all these good things, you know. So like, me personally, I'd be like, okay, Mother Teresa, you know, like just calm down, just stop hitting the kids, you know, and you just like keep going on, you know, keep doing good things, you know. I feel like it depends, like on how much good you're doing, that can outweigh the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. So I mean, she did good all her life, but she like right before retirement, she's getting out of the whatever that I cannot remember what that name is called, what they stay at, but she's retiring. She has a little too much sacramental wine with the ladies celebrating, and then she's on a wagon and runs over a cat or runs over a kid that was, I don't know, something
playing on the street, huh?
Yeah, but she was having a good one, paying attention. Like, is she now an evil person because she was reckless and she knew better, or was it a situation that just was a bad situation?
I feel like it honestly does depend on the circumstances. You know what I mean? But personally, I feel like overall, one bad decision, you know, one bad like action shouldn't really like define who you are as a person. You know what I mean? Because like then again, there always is redemption. You know?
Yeah.
She can always like, and that applies to like prisoners or anything, like people like doing bad things. You know, like that's like in a certain point in their life, but like that things happen, and you know, like, people can always move on and do their own thing. You know, like try
Redemption,
to,
yeah.
like, move past it.
Yeah.
Everything
I
else,
will
like,
say, with Mother Teresa, she was big on embezzlement and stealing the funds that she said she was raising to help people. So, I mean, that is a thing.
She's got the knowledge. She's like, don't even try me.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, like the context of the goodness and whether or not it outweighs the bad. I think we can recognize it. Like, again, good person, bad person is very subjective. I think we can recognize the good acts that somebody does without hailing them a good or a bad person. And if they are a bad person, you can still focus on, oh well, yeah, they did this and that was great, but how do we like minimize the harm, or like talk about and expound on the harm that they cause to prevent it in the future if there's certain situations that will like come out from them.
yeah,
If that
because
makes sense.
there's always repercussions.
Right.
Yeah.
Like any action you do.
So I guess in one word, yes or no. Do you think a good person can do an evil thing and be good?
Yes, but it depends on the circumstances.
Slade.
Yes, circumstantial.
Yes, circumstantial. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on River Street Rundown, and we'll see you next time.
You're watching the River Street Rundown on App TV.
A podcast for students, produced by students. This is the River Street Rundown.
Tune in to the River Street Rundown on watchapptv.com or your favorite streaming platform.